to get away from boxing, and we're gonna talk to a young lady that we have here from Mama Bear Defense. She is one of the instructors that I know that she shoots competition, and so she's an instructor, and she teaches the ladies. But she just recently told me now she teaches everyone. So just gonna talk to her. I'm gonna introduce you guys to Michelle. Michelle,
Hi guys.
tell her a little bit about yourself, Michelle.
I got into the industry, kind of dabble in it my whole life. My dad actually, I credit him with getting into it. It's his birthday today too, so happy birthday, Dad. So just kind of hobby shooting, shooting tin cans and whatever at family's property, and realized you actually got me into the competition shooting through my dad. And once you start moving and running and gunning, you never want to go back to that stagnant line. But I realized getting into that sport, there's just not a lot of females, first of all, that do competitive shooting.
That's right.
And there's definitely not a lot of female instructors out there. So I just kind of put together this accumulation of everything I had done. I was a project manager at an engineering firm, and I've done teaching at community colleges, and put together, what do I like most about all this stuff? I was a hairstylist for 10 years. And what does all of it have in common? I like helping people. I like teaching. I like those aha breakthrough moments and making people feel good. And so Chelsea, that owns ASP Armory in Vacaville, the old location had an indoor shooting range. And so it just kind of happened. These pieces just fit together where she'd say, you can have some people offer some lessons. She had a location that had an office, so we had childcare available. Wow. And then I realized just the need of, a lot of women aren't getting into this industry. One, it's very intimidating. Two, we just can't. A lot of these ladies are stay-at-home moms, or they work full-time and then come home and take care of their families full-time. And they just don't have the time for it. So it's offering this space where it's bring your kids. Kids are always welcome. And with all the new gun owners, 2020, the whole world changed. And we saw a huge influx. What was it? 2 million new gun owners in California?
New gun owners in California. Wow.
So huge influx of gun owners. And that's when I really stepped up. And I think my littlest guys, I'm a mom, my two boys, they're 4 and 7. And my littlest was probably 3 months old when I got into competition shooting. And I realized there's a need for female instructors. So that's, like I said, all this kind of just formed. All the pieces were there with the Chelsea and meeting you and my dad and this background. And you just put it all together. And then 2020, the whole world kind of imploded. And I'm like, this is what I need. What can I do that can work around my kid's schedule, that I can incorporate everything I love? And that's how Mama Bear started.
That's how Mama Bear started. Yeah, because I've been out there, and you have a lot of ladies that go out there. And one thing about me is I'm big on women learning self-defense. The same with my wife. I teach my wife, self-defense, and I want her to be able to take care of herself. And it should be like that for all women. So, and I thought it would be a good thing for people to know who you are and say, hey, this is Mama Bear Defense, and Mama Bear Defense, this is what she can give you. Not only do you do the basics, do you do a little bit more than just the basics?
So it basically started. It started with this idea that I'd help women get in. How do I even get started in this industry? And it's, like I said, the industry itself is very intimidating. And in California, no less, it's even to experienced gun owners, it's still intimidating because you never know what day you're going to wake up and there's going to be all these new gun laws and you got to stay on top of it. So I'm a DOJ instructor as well. So that allows me the ability to issue the FSC test, which is your firearm safety certificate test. So from start to finish, I can get you to pass your test, get your FSC card, and that's the first step you need to be able to purchase a handgun or any firearm in California now. And then I will, tomorrow morning, actually, I'm meeting a student of mine over at ASP and basically just do my kind of personal shopping. Instead of, handbags and shoes, it's firearms. So I'm going to meet her at the shop, discuss which type of firearm would be best for her. So it's literally start to finish. And then we have students that, my goal is my students would eventually graduate out of my program. My organization, my company is designed for brand new shooters. And at some point, people, and I've had students that have taken all my classes and they say, well, what's next? What do you want to do? Where do you want this industry to take you? Do you want to just be proficient with the firearms in your home so you feel comfortable with home and self-defense?
Right.
Do you want to get your CCW? I have CCW classes I offer. We go through the application process, considerations, if that's something, that's a big responsibility. So we talk about considerations in getting a CCW and how to apply for the county that you're in. Competition shooting. I start to, we work in on my private lessons, competition shooting. This is the movement you need. This is what you need to consider for competition shooting. Firearms you should consider purchasing for competition shooting. I do everything from, private family group lessons. If you've got a family and you want to get your kiddos out and teach them firearm basics, whether it's in a classroom only setting or live fire, offer that. It's kind of wherever you want to take it.
Wherever you want to take it.
Wherever you want to take it, what your goal is with this industry.
Well, what I find unique about your classes is that other women can learn from another woman. And see, that's the thing that is so unique, is because we don't see a lot of women instructors. We mainly see men, and men can be intimidating in just their approach when it comes to the ladies and women. They could be very intimidating. And it's like, when you started doing your class, I was like, wow, this is great. This is very unique, because now when I walk up and I see you there and I'm just like, and watching you with the ladies, they are so comfortable and they listen completely. I mean, just completely, they're listening. And it's because of the testosterone that the men have, that we have, that the ladies don't have. And I watch them, they're doing excellent. So, I mean, ladies, if you guys out there and you're looking for a firearms instructor, then Mama Bear Defense is the person that you guys should get in touch with. And how can they get in touch with you, Michelle?
I've got my website, so www.mamabeardefense.org/Solano, because I'm in Solano County here in California. And then Instagram, Mama Bear, it's mama_bear_defense. So, and that's pretty much it. Through the website, you can also find my email on there. It's motherbeardefense@gmail.com. But find me on Instagram, message me. I'm pretty responsive. I mean, summer's crazy, so we got kids getting out of school. Tomorrow's their last day, so my hands are gonna be a little more full than usual, but I always do my best to respond back. And private lessons, my teaching jobs for the school year are up, so now I'm going to be available more for private lessons. Live Fire is reaching out to a student today about booking just an in-home mommy and me and FFC class, so mobile classroom classes. I absolutely can do that, so I can come to your house locally and set up FSC testing and just do private in-home classroom style classes as well.
Wow. So, that's a lot for an instructor to do, because mainly most instructors, they'll give you the classroom work and then they get you out on the range. I mean, and because again, I'm an instructor for my job that I do. Okay. And the difference is just that, okay, I'm dealing with officers that are on the street, basically, well, not on the street, basically inside of a building. And, some of them go out on the street and things like that. But the bottom line to it is that what you're doing, what I'm doing is similar, but it's a different atmosphere, because again, you're a woman, and it's just amazing to watch you teach the other women. I mean, it's amazing the way, just how, when you're talking to them, everything, it's just completely different from when the guys are teaching. Because I don't know, for some reason, it seems like guys are a little bit more pig-headed than the women.
There's definitely more of an ego, and I don't mean that in a mean way at all, but I think that new shooters especially are very easy to teach, but getting these women in the right type of environment, nobody learns well when they're worried about all the outside noise.
Correct.
And what are other people thinking about me and this and that. And I make it a point in all my classes, especially my live fire, let's do introductions and what's your name and where are you from and what's your experience. And I think looking around and realizing everybody here's on the same page as me.
Correct.
You kind of let your guard down a little bit. And I love doing private lessons, but I really encourage my new shooters, come do a group lesson, because you learn best. You don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what the person next to you is going to ask or how they're going to do something. But there are certain things that only females deal with in this industry. And I'm positive that none of these pistols and none of these firearms that I'm using were designed with the idea of a female using them. So that's one of the classes I do offer it's a pistol fundamentals class. It's a classroom only class, but we talk about modifications. A Glock 19 was not designed for a 5'4" female to be using.
Right.
But it's arguably, that's the pistol, the number one pistol I recommend to all my students. So we talk about modifications and how do we adapt our training? I was very, very blessed to have the opportunity to teach a student a week or two ago, and she's missing her entire left arm.
Wow.
So how do we do that? How do we manipulate this pistol? What are some modifications we can do? And that is something I think that gets overlooked so much in this industry is, I mean, look at you and I, we're friends. Yeah. Will we have ever met outside of the sport?
Probably
no.
Not. Never.
No, and it doesn't matter what you look like, what your physical abilities are.
That's right.
I mean, firearms truly are the great equalizer. And there's people that show up to these matches, and we're getting more and more kids out to these matches. And get my butt handed to me by a 12-year-old.
Wow.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what size, shape you are, what you look like, what you believe in. It's some of the best people I've ever met have been in this industry. And I'm just trying to open it up and kind of change the face of what that industry looks like. And like I said, I think, women are half the population.
Right. Yes, that is true.
And you don't have to get into the sport with the idea of getting super tactical or shooting competitions. But everybody should at least feel comfortable with a firearm.
They should. I mean, it's a part of the American culture. And the other thing is that everybody should learn some sort of defense, whether you are a man, a woman. I especially say women because there's a lot of guys out there that are doing things to women, and I completely disagree with it. And I think women need to be able to defend themselves. Lots of times you see single moms going to the store with their kids, and you get guys approaching them and this and that. Now I'm not saying nothing bad. I'm just saying if you are a gun owner, you got enough common sense to know when to do something and when not to do it. Because again, your training and everything, you fall back on your training, and that's what I find so unique about what you do and teaching the women, because I haven't seen it. There's nobody else around that I even know that's even doing that.
And I think my approach is I don't loan firearms out.
Right.
I don't loan firearms out. I don't loan ammo. Well, you can't really loan ammo, but I don't loan any of the stuff out.
Right.
And I probably lose a chunk of business over that. But my mindset is I don't want people coming to me and renting a firearm and having a girl stay on the range and having it be something they come do for fun.
Right.
How I teach my classes is a whole lifestyle. You absolutely can be a mother and be a firearm owner. You absolutely can be a businesswoman and have your concealed carry. It is a lifestyle. And the reason that the self-defense and what you were just saying is it's not just because I have a gun, I'm going to be better at self-defense.
Right.
Because there's a difference between a gun owner and a competent gun owner, a responsible gun owner. And it drives me nuts when people do all this work and get their concealed carry permit, never go out and train. I mean, you're only as good as what you put into it. And that's with anything in life,
correct.
Right?
That's correct.
So a gun is absolutely not going to save you. Your situational awareness is what's going to save you.
Absolutely.
So even if you choose, and that's what I tell these ladies that take my intro class, I'm like, just do the FSC and get your card. It's good for 5 years. So sit on it for 4 years and 363 days and then decide if you want a gun, and that's fine. But still be training, still take situational awareness classes and hand-to-hand combat and defensive classes. But that is the really good firearm owners, the instructors like us. We understand that a gun is not going to do anything more. If you are, God forbid, in a mass shooting situation, what's going to save more lives? First aid training.
That's right.
Your situational awareness and not getting yourself into these bad situations in the first place. And so that's what I try and teach is, that's great if you want to go out and have a range day with your girlfriends, but make it a lifestyle. Buy your own guns. Don't just use your husband's guns. Don't just borrow your cousin's guns.
That makes sense.
Buy your own firearm and get to that point. That's what I really push is I want every woman to get to that point where she's so comfortable loading up her own mags, packing her own range bag, driving herself to the range, getting on the firing line, clearing her own malfunctions, cleaning her own gun when she gets home, 100% independent.
Yes. And you brought up something that is very, very important that a lot of people, I don't even hear firearms instructors even mention it, is situational awareness. When you walk out of the house, you automatically should be scanning the area to know what's around you. You should know if there's anybody around your car, how many people, and this and that. If you have a child with you, you want to make sure that when you open that door, you have your back against the door and you put your child in the car where you have that peripheral vision where you could just make that 180-degree turn and you can see everything. Okay. And see, that's what needs to be taught to a lot of the ladies, you know.
And I think, and it's something that a lot of men don't even think about.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
100%. Every time I get in the car, the first thing I do is lock the doors. And I don't think men do that.
Right.
I don't think that's something that they were taught, but that's something I was taught when I got my driver's license. Get in the car and lock your doors.
Yes.
And you know, if I am carrying concealed and I happen to have my children with me, and women are easier targets.
Yes.
We're buckling kids into car seats. We got purses. Know what's on you, what's around you, know where your kids are at, know what's behind you, what's in front of you. It's still, the statistics still holds. And I don't recall the study that found it, but the statistic still holds. The number one cause of death for pregnant women is murder.
There's murder. Wow.
It's murder.
Wow.
It's just, we're too easy of a target, and that needs to change. It needs to change.
And that's where the part where it comes in that everybody, especially women, I believe, needs to learn self-defense. They need to know how to take care of themselves. I mean, because bottom line to it is, you stop and you think about it. If you're a person, if you're an at-home mom and your husband is out of the house, you're there. So why not learn defense?
And
learn how to protect yourself and your family. Even if he is it, what if he's got it?
What if he gets taken out? What if he gets shot?
Exactly.
You got to be prepared to do it. And I think that the biggest thing that I've noticed, you know, I was thinking when I got started in this, that it would be a lot more teaching about firearms and a lot more teaching about the actual manipulation. The biggest hurdle I get with women in my classes is self-confidence.
Wow.
And it is a huge,
and
that's it, is we'll go shoot a match all day and it's not a lot of movement. It's not a super physical sport,
right?
But you're drained. The end of the day, 6 stages. We did an 8-stage match the other day at Linden. I was smoked at the end of the day because it's mental. It's that situational awareness, and you're looking for targets and you're looking for this. But self-confidence is the biggest roadblock that I face with new shooters, but especially female shooters. And I discussed this in an interview I did last year. And this all ties into the industry and Mama Bear Defense, and why I feel like I just click on that level with women is I get it as another female, that I identity loss. You get married and you're somebody's wife, and you get a job and you're that employee, and you have kids and you're a mom. And that's why I started competitive shooting.
Right.
It's because you wake up one day, and I get it. Maybe men deal with this, but I think women
more so than men. Yeah.
But you wake up one day, especially after you have kids, get married, or maybe go through a divorce or do anything else, and it's like, what do I enjoy doing anymore?
Right.
You know, and you get these. And society is brutal, and society is brutal to young girls. It's brutal to women. It's like all of a sudden you have kids, and then you're not attractive anymore because you're mom, and your whole life should focus on your kids. No way. Go find a hobby. Go feel good about yourself. And so it's just, it's like chipping away at these walls and these self-confidence issues. Your life is worth protecting.
Right. Yes.
It's worth protecting, even if you're not a mom.
Yes.
Your life, and I say this in my class, has intrinsic value. You are meant to be here, and you deserve to protect your life, and you deserve to have a sport you love doing. You deserve to get out and have your own time. And
that's right. And you're just as much as a human being as anybody else.
100%.
You know.
And that's like, I think the biggest thing is they're like, well, because I get people in my class. I'm called Mama Bear Defense, and I have kids, and that was how I started in this industry. But I'm finding more and more that, a lot of men are in my classes. Well, I'm not a mom, or, I don't have any kids, and I don't know. But you're still somebody's kid.
Right.
Somebody would be sad if you weren't here and you didn't wake up tomorrow. You're worth protecting, and everybody's here because they're supposed to be here. So it's getting that through people's heads that, you're not going to get a firearm with I've had amazing people that say, I don't think I'm ready to buy a firearm. I don't think I could live with myself if I took somebody's life with it. You don't have to. Right. You don't have to. I've had a concealed carry permit for 10 years. You know how many times that gun's come out of my holster in public?
No. Well, guess what? I've been carrying a firearm with my job now for over 20-something years, and it has never left the holster yet.
Never has.
Never.
And there's
only time it leaves the holster when I have to go qualify with the job.
Correct.
That's it.
And there's definitely been situations where I'm like, This doesn't look good. And that's where it comes to mindset, and good, competent firearm owners are the safest people to be around, because even if they didn't have a firearm with them, they have a lot of training. They should, and situational awareness, and able to look at somebody and recognize, man, that person doesn't look right, or that person's behavior is a little off. Let me create some distance and let me come up with a game plan.
Again, situational awareness. And one thing that a lot of people don't understand, because we tend to see, because we live in society and we get away from it, is we all have a natural instinct. When something is wrong, you feel it. You feel it inside. And what we have to learn to do is listen to ourselves. Hey, something is wrong. Listen to yourself. That doesn't mean that you have to jump on the defensive right away, but you listen to yourself and say, hey, let me get to my vehicle, lock the doors, and let me get out of here. That sometimes saves a person's life more than anything, by listening to their instinct that they have inside of them.
And that's something that women especially, and that's why I think women are the best firearm owners, because nothing can top a mother's instinct.
Correct.
You don't, and that's why I say, you don't mess with mama bear. Like, we know what we know, and we feel it in our gut. And that all ties into confidence. Is you just got to trust yourself. If something feels off, go with it.
Yes, it's off.
Go with it.
That's what I've learned already. Hey, because when I was getting into the ring and I was doing all the sparring and fighting and stuff, I knew. I mean, I stepped into that environment, but I knew when I got into that ring, if something felt like this guy's attitude is, he's angry about something, you can actually feel that energy. And whatever he's angry at, he's going to take it out on me. So you got to be prepared. But that's situation a little bit different, but I still can feel it. And I was just like,
100%.
Yeah, you can feel it. And it's
you
the
feel
same
when
thing.
people's energy is off. And it's not like to sound like a hippie, but you do. You feel people's energy, their vibe, and you just.
Correct.
And I think the other big thing, the reason we need more women in this industry is we need more responsible people with firearms. But like, there's so much to learn. I feel, maybe I'm not right with this, but I feel like women have less of an ego issue.
They do.
And I feel like that's probably the biggest hurdle in this industry, is too many people with egos are getting their hands on firearms, and one little offense and they're like, I'm going to handle this. And so that goes back to the training too, is responsible, competent firearm owners. Our egos don't get bruised easily. We know we're good. We know we're good people. We know our worth. We know our value. We know what we got to go home to at the end of the day. So if we get cut off in traffic, is what it is. Somebody wants to get in our face, is what it is. I got nothing to prove to these people.
See, that's just the opposite of a man. A man get cut off in traffic, he gets pissed off. He wants to immediately do something. And it's like, really? Come on now. I mean,
don't take other people's bad days personally. That's what I tell them. Other people have got bad moods, and don't take it personally. You have no idea what somebody else has to lose.
Correct.
I know what I have to lose, and I know why it's important.
And that's the most important thing.
It's important to carry a firearm. It's more important to pick your battles.
Correct.
And I know, I know what I have to go home to, and I know what I have to lose. So none of that's worth protecting my ego over.
So folks, I would recommend, if you're looking for, ladies, if you're looking for a great woman instructor, Mama Bear Defense, right here.
Thank you.
And I would tell you guys to contact Mama Bear Defense. Again, where can they?
You could do mamabeardefense.org/Solano, SOLANO, Solano County, California. You can reach out if you're local in the Solano County area. Go to ASP Armory. There's flyers up there. YOLO Sportsman Association, the outdoor range in Davis. I've got flyers out there. That's where I do my live fire classes. You can also email me at motherbeardefense@gmail.com.
All right. Okay, Michelle. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you coming on. Okay. And folks, I just want to say this right quick is if you guys like this sort of content, please like and subscribe. Okay. Write something in the comment section. If you didn't catch the Mama Bear Defense, just go ahead and write something to me and I'll contact her, and I'll just pass the information on to you. So again, folks, you guys have a great day, and we had a great interview with Mama Bear Defense. All right, guys. You guys have a great day. And that's all I got for you. I'll see you guys real soon.